Welcome into Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Today's show is presented by Aura, the all-in-one digital safety company. You can start your free trial today by visiting aura.com/chatsports. We'll tell you more about what they do coming up later on in the show. Today, we will go over some news and rumors for your Seattle Seahawks. And where we will start today is with Noah Fant. Fant, a lot of love throughout Seahawks minicamp last week, and that even continued this past week. Everybody was still talking about Noah Fant this week. Widely regarded as the breakout star of Seahawks minicamp. He, of course, was acquired by the Seahawks in the Russell Wilson trade, and he described the offensive system of offensive coordinator Shane Waldron as being very favorable towards tight ends, that he was very excited about being in this offense that Waldron has there in Seattle, and he got some high praise from Pete Carroll as well. This is what Carroll had to say about Noah Fant. Noah probably had maybe one of the most spectacular camps of anybody. I just thought he made plays throughout the whole time. Down the field, short area stuff, understanding the scheme, all of it, he just adapted so beautifully. So some great praise there from Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll in regards to Noah Fant. And coming up in just a moment, I'm going to show you some numbers of somebody that I think we could compare Noah Fant to, an expectation of sorts that you should be very excited about in regards to Noah Fant in just a moment. But before we get to that, though, if you believe that Noah Fant is going to have a big year in 2022, if he takes that next step to be an elite tight end in the NFL, type 87 in the comments. Let's go ahead and spam the comments right now. That's Fant's number, 87. Let me know if you're excited about him, if you think he's going to have a big year in 2022. It's our pinned comment today. You're about to get an ad break. Take advantage of it while the ad's playing. Get your comments in, typing 87 for Noah Fant. Jake Heaps, former Seattle Seahawks quarterback, and actually now is the quarterback's coach, the personal quarterback coach for Russell Wilson, had this to say about Noah Fant. This is somebody to me that brings a lot of intrigue because Noah Fant isn't just your typical tight end. He is somebody that can be very, very dynamic with the ball in his hands. He can be very dynamic down the field with his size and speed. I believe that if they can tap into that, they have the ability to be able to find a legitimate third receiving option. So this is somebody that brings size, that brings speed, and I think when you're talking about his ability over the middle of the field, I'm going to be very intrigued to see how Drew Lock, Geno Smith, in this offense try to utilize his skill set, because he is a guy that really can help a ball club move the chains. So you can see Jake Heaps there with a lot of praise for Noah Fant. Everybody on the same page loving Noah Fant, as you can see throughout this offseason. The most exciting addition for the Seahawks outside of the draft. Now, here's something to think about for Noah Fant that I want to point to. If you're trying to look for a comparison, we all hear these great things about Noah Fant, and there's reason to be excited about what he's capable of and what he can do. He's been very good as is, but can he go from good to great? Can he be an elite tight end in the NFL? This is the question I have. Can he make the jump that Mark Andrews made last year? I'm going to show you some numbers here in a moment, and to me, this is something, a good measuring stick for Noah Fant of what he could potentially be in 2022. Now, you see, through the first 3 years of Mark Andrews and Noah Fant's careers, pretty similar numbers. 2021 for Noah Fant versus 2020 for Mark Andrews. You can see Fant had more catches, but Andrews had a little bit more yards and more touchdowns. But of that stretch, it's very comparable numbers. And then when you get to year 4 for Mark Andrews, bam, that's when the big jump took place. 107 catches, 1,300 yards, and 9 touchdowns. You look at that side for Noah Fant on the left. You can see 500 yards, 673, 670. good numbers for the start. But can he do what Mark Andrews did? I don't think that's asking too much for Noah Fant in this Seahawks offense to expect that type of leap like the Baltimore Ravens saw out of Mark Andrews this past year. Today's show is presented by Aura, the all-in-one protection program for you in every way possible, whether it's identity theft protection, fraud protection with your finances, online and device security. And the best part about it, you're going to protect your loved ones, too, in the process, up to 5 people. So even producer Trace, who, has got mom and dad and sister and brother and the whole gang, they're going to be protected. Everyone is going to be good to go at producer Trace's house because they have Aura. And, they got their 14-day free trial. Now they've bought in. So I want you guys at home to do the same thing. Get your 14-day free trial now. You don't want to be scammed. They're going to protect you in every way possible. So go ahead and sign up now, aura.com/chatsports. If you don't like it, well, who am I kidding? You're going to like it. You're going to love Aura. Sign up today, aura.com/chatsports. Louis Riddick, ESPN NFL analyst. One of my favorites on ESPN, by the way. He does an incredible job with his coverage of the NFL, and we keep hearing that Louis is going to be a GM one of these days. I hope he gets a chance. He had some nice things to say about the Seahawks this past week. He was on a local radio show in Seattle. And if you recall earlier in the week, we told you that Louis Riddick thinks that the Seahawks should make a move for Jimmy Garoppolo if he is released by the 49ers. Louis also had a few more things to say about the Seahawks this week. In regards to rookie cornerback Coby Bryant, who the Seahawks picked in the 4th round, Riddick said that Bryant is going to be a stud in the league. That's nice to hear. He also said that the Seahawks may have struck platinum drafting Tariq Woolen. Woolen, of course, a day 3 pick that kind of was forgotten about, that has looked pretty good. All signs point to at this point in time. And then on top of that, Louis Riddick ended things by saying the Seahawks are a sleeping giant. So, some high praise there, as you can see, from Louis Riddick on the Seattle Seahawks. And, I happen to agree. I can be the yes man for Louis Riddick in this case. Louis, I think, is absolutely right in regards to the Seahawk team at this point. They're just a few pieces away. Now, granted, there's some very big pieces, like the quarterback position, but the foundation, the groundwork is there. This draft was so good for the Seattle Seahawks with the 9 picks that they made and finding guys day 3 like they did of Coby Bryant and Tariq Woolen to go along with Charles Cross and Boy Mafe and Abraham Lucas. When I look at this draft of what the Seahawks put together, I think that we're going to look down the road and remember that 2022 draft that the Seahawks had, building their foundation for the future. Louis is right. This team is a sleeping giant. It's not going to be overnight, but the foundation pieces are there. What do you guys think? Do you agree with Louis Riddick? Do you agree with the ESPN NFL analyst that the Seahawks are a sleeping giant? Are you high on Coby Bryant and Tariq Woolen as well? Let me know in the comment section. Type Y for yes, type N for no if you agree with Louis Riddick. Of course you agree with Louis Riddick. Why would you not? Let me know in the comment section. Y for yes, N for no. We are covering the Seahawks like no one else on the internet is here on Seahawks Today. And if you are not subscribed, why not? Subscribe now so you never miss a moment, whether it's throughout the offseason, training camp, preseason, counting you down to kickoff. We have this team covered in every way possible. So don't miss a moment. Subscribe now. Turn on those notifications. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV is where you can find us, and we're having a lot of fun on here. Not only are we going to inform you, we're going to entertain you as well and have a good time here on the channel. So subscribe now, never miss a moment, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. One more note before we get out of here today. Alex Tchangam, I think I said that right, maybe not. He was waived by the Seahawks. I'm glad I don't have to say his name any longer, to be honest with you. He is gone now, and that leaves an open spot on the current 90-man roster for the Seahawks. Now, what they do with that remains to be seen, but at this point in the season, you could have 90. Obviously, that's going to go down later on, but we'll see what the Seahawks can do. Obviously, they didn't like Alex too much, so we'll see what direction they go to bring in somebody to get another camp body with a training camp coming up in just a few weeks from right now. Before we go, name a player you think the Seahawks should sign, whether it's a camp body you think that deserves a shot to be out there to fill up the 90, or make a legit run forward to be a big impact player on this Seahawks team. Let me know in the comment section. Give me one name who you think the Seahawks should sign in free agency. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today.